Hello everyone and welcome back to the New York Empoleon's Week 4 Team Builder of the PAC Season 2. We are here this week taking on the Vancouver Titangs, coached by Greyveee. Greyveee? I don't know. Anyway, we are taking them on this week. They're really talented, so definitely go check them out. Links in the description below. If you're wondering why I'm a little bit out of breath, it's because I just did 20 push-ups, and if you want to see me do those 20 push-ups, you got to make it to the live stream, so definitely check that out. Link is also in the description below, and I do stream every team builder and every battle. I also say that all the other coaches are in the description below, but I didn't say that this time. I'm not redoing this. Okay. So my opponent's team is Talonflame, Thundurus, Incarnate, Garchomp, Tapu Lele, Drapion, Heatran, Decidueye, Bewear, Marshtomp, Slowking, and Greedent. And it's terrifying. That's it. End of team builder. I really do think this is going to be a brutal matchup for me. So I decided, instead of stressing too much, let's bring the Mons that are going to do things, hopefully. First thing here we have is a not super unique or terribly interesting just max defense Mudsdale with Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Toxic, and Smackdown. Smackdown here is just for Thundurus, mostly, and Talonflame, because I want to spam Earthquake, and those are the only things immune to it. So, hitting them once, both of them become weak to ground. They're both weak to rock first, and then I can just spam Earthquake till Kingdom Come. There's a couple of Mons that can, like, easily tank that, like Bewear, Decidueye, Garchomp. So Toxic is there for those Mons, and then Stealth Rock is super nice to have for Chip this week. And that's mostly what this is going to come in and do. I can switch in on a lot of Mons, which is really nice, and take a hit or two, especially once Stamina pops. Next up is Urshifu this week. He is going to be Scarfed, and is going to be rocking out with Wicked Blow, Sucker Punch, U-Turn, and Close Combat. I desperately wanted Poison Jab or Iron Head so badly. You guys don't understand how hard I tried to put that on this set, but I couldn't justify it. Even though my opponent has a Tapu Lele on their team, I still think Sucker Punch is super useful. And even though they have a Lele and I'm Scarf, I still think Sucker Punch could come in handy at one point in this match. There are times where just something lives on like 3% and it's going to outspeed, and I just need to kill it. So otherwise, spamming Wicked Blow, spamming Close Combat is really nice. Bewear, Drapion, those both resist Wicked Blow and can take them pretty well. But they both don't appreciate close combats, so that's really what we're going to be rocking out with. U-Turn is just helpful because I bait in things like the Drapion and Bewear, and then I can switch out and go into things that can kill them. Next up is my choice specs Aegislash with Shadow Ball, Flash Cannon, Shadow Sneak, and Steel Beam. Little bit of tech there again. I know they have a Lele. I have a Finny, so I don't expect them to be like, ooh, we're going to make Psychic Terrain like the most important part of our game plan. And again, things just keep living on like tiny percent. That's why Stealth Rock's so helpful. That's why so much Priority is helpful. I am Specs Shadow Sneak. Might catch them off guard if I use this as a revenge killer and then switch out. And yes, I am rocking Steel Beam because Steel Beam basically claims a kill. If I switch this in. Like, it can kill a +2 Calm-Minded Tapu Lele from full. Just straight up. Yeah, I lose half my health, but like, I like clicking a delete button. My opponent's team's really scary. So like, you switch in your Garchomp? No, it just dies. Drapion? Dead. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, the only things that can take it are Slowking and Marshtomp, neither of which really switch into an Aegislash spamming Shadow Ball. And Heatran, of course, can take it as well, but that's, like, Shadow Ball, again, is super good against the Heatran, so, like, Specs Aegislash just goes nuts this week, so that's what we're going to be rocking out with here. And this is where the team gets a little bit weirder. So next up is my Lurantis. No, that is not an editing typo. It has no item. I am running the Anti-Poltergeist Lurantis set. It is Leaf Storm, Synthesis, Knockoff, and Superpower. Covers basically everything it needs to cover here. Superpower for the Heatran switch it, Knockoff for the Decidueye, Leaf Storm for everything else, and Synthesis because it doesn't have leftovers or anything. And yeah, it walls Decidueye. Leaf Blade does nothing. Poltergeist literally does nothing. And then I can just click Knockoff. I don't really have a lot of answers to Decidueye. I realized that. And so I decided this is going to be my answer to Decidueye. We're going to rock out with it and see what happens. This isn't my only answer, but it's one of the like more dedicated answers. And once Decidueye goes down, if I can make that happen, then I don't really need this anymore, and it becomes really good death fodder for a free switch into something like Urshifu, or as a like resetting Scar for Specs. So just useful for those reasons. I don't expect it to like break the team apart. It's not going to sweep or anything, but it is kind of a check to the one mon that I have no other real answers to. The only other fake answer I have is Noctowl. Noctowl this week is going to be rocking out with Hurricane Roost, Nasty Plot, and Defog is my removal this week because they do have T-Spikes and Rocks on their roster. So, and then Hurricane's super spammable, right? And Defog helps actually make me land Hurricanes, which is nice. Roost is good because if I do come in the Decidueye, resist both its stabs, immune to Poltergeist, resist Leaf Blade, resist U-Turn, and am able to just Roost off any damage as they have to switch out. And then Hurricane, I could choose to just Hurricane straight up and hit whatever comes in. I can defog. So Decidueye is just good setup fodder for the Noctowl. Nasty Plot, admittedly, is because I didn't know what fourth move to put on it. And I was like, why not put Nasty Plot? I originally had a blunder policy on this thing, but I switched it to leftovers because it's not going to sweep, to be honest. It just stops the Decidueye from sweeping me. And honestly, that is the most valuable thing I can ask for in this matchup. And the last mon this week is the Seeking. Yes, there's no Rotom Heat. There's no Tapu Fini. We're not bringing like Toxtricity, which has been a kill leader this season. No Lycanroc, just Seeking. Flip Turn Waterfall knockoff Icy Wind with the Assault Vest can definitely catch some of their mons. If I catch them napping, like go Garchomp, and they're like, I'm gonna set up a Swords Dance, and I click Icy Wind on that Garchomp, it's gonna live. But it's not going to appreciate it, and it's going to get slowed down a little bit, which then allows my other mons to come in and handle it better later. Knockoff is super nice for things that switch into the Seeking, like the Decidueye, or the Drapion, or Beware, which might be Rocky Helmet for the Urshifu, and so then just knocking that off can be really helpful. This thing walls the Heatran unless it's like Power Herb Solar Beam, and it handles the Thundurus. This thing can take a +2 Life Orb Grass Knot from a Thundurus, and of course I'm Lightning Rod, so I don't have to worry about the electric attack. And Icy Wind can again slow that down a little bit. And yeah, so that's the team we're rocking. It's going to be interesting this week. Hopefully it goes well. I have no idea what to expect out of this team. If I lose, I lose. Like that's where we're going to be this week. I just kind of needed a week where I just put mons out there and said go and see what happens. And facing one of the best coaches in the format and doing that may not be the best strategy I've ever had, but I think this is what I needed this week. I was having a lot of fun playing with it and prepping with it, so that's what we're going to be rocking out with. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys all back here tomorrow with that battle. Take care, everybody.